crap worked, and I loved it. I felt so gratified when that person ran right in the center of that. Hey, this is Timmara signing on with Dead by Daylight, technically. Okay, so here's the deal. I've been recently getting into playing Dead by Daylight, and I haven't had time to record it is the thing, and, you know, because Halloween is coming up, it's October as we're recording, it's starting to get into mid-October now, I'm falling way behind, but I wanted something spooky to play, so I decided to try Dead by Daylight, which I've been having a lot of fun with, actually, and so I decided I'd do some videos on it, but I haven't had time to necessarily record it, or when I have, things have just not worked out too well technology-wise. So, what I actually got right now is I've been saving some video clips and some matches and such to my PlayStation, and I figured what I could do instead is do some commentary on some of my video clips. As dumb as that kind of sounds, I just thought it'd be interesting and fun to do. Talk about some of my matches, my early matches. Talk about like my thought process in certain games, like this one. This is just some Wraith gameplay where I managed to wipe out the team while half of them quit. And I just figured this would be a good spot to start with my preamble and just talk about certain matches, certain mindsets in certain situations, certain matches, trying out the different killers, playing as survivors, such and such. And I thought this would be a fun little experiment. So, I've only done a commentary just one other time, and that was with my Watch Dogs 2 video, when I just messed around with the scissor lift. So I thought this would be fun. So yeah, this is just my post-game bonuses. I did pretty good, considering. Yeah, actually, this is one of my earlier games I record. Actually, I think this was the first one I recorded, so yeah. Anyway, so we're not going to start on the Wraith. We're going to start with the Trapper, and I'll kind of might go down the rows with killers and alternate between survivor matches and such. So yeah, so let's take a look at, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Dead by Daylight, I've been having a lot of fun with it. Let's move on. Let's go to my killer match as the Trapper. Okay, so here we are at the beginning of the Trapper match. The Trapper is the first killer that's part of the Dead by Daylight roster. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Yeah, this is just me replaying my clips and basically talking over them. And so, just going through matches, talking about my process. And the Trapper, I think, would be a good one to start with, because it's like, you know, this was like my second proper match with the Trapper after I had played for a while and learned how to play. My killer rank at this point was, I think, 17, or was it 18? It was pretty, I was starting to, this was like one of my more recent clips I saved. Oh shoot, it's paused. There we go. Okay, I did not realize. Okay, this was one of my more recent clips I saved, and I thought it was a good match. Like, the Trapper, I really had little experience with him. This is, like, again, my second match, and I had played as, like, the Wraith a lot, and so this is just a very interesting match, I think. Just, like, because the Trapper really doesn't have much at his disposal. I think he feels pretty standard, and really his only draw is his bear trap, which there's a bunch to collect and such, and, well, we'll get to that. But anyway, so Dead by Daylight, oh yeah, this is where, yeah, I was thinking as the Trapper you can set down bear traps, and I thought in a spot where a survivor could drop a pallet to block you, I figured that'd be a good spot to place it, because they'll instinctively run that way. I guess I should explain in case you don't know, but Dead by Daylight is a, like, I guess you could say a horror game, where you play an asymmetric multiplayer game where you can play as the killer or survivors. It's like a slasher film stereotype where you can play as a bunch of different killers with their own unique abilities, like the ability to turn invisible, to teleport, to lay traps, or you play as a survivor, and your option is to escape. And in order to do that, you got to activate generators by doing quick time events and taking time with them and using resources in order to open up pathways to escape. The killer wins if all the players die, and the killer wins if all the survivors die, and the only goal of survivor is to survive. So you can either do that alone or with a group. And this is all, I don't have anyone to play with online for this game, so I've been playing, all these matches are by myself. So when somebody screws up a quick time event, you can check it out. I try to damage generators as often as I can, because that's a smart tactic, just to disable them unless there's like a survivor right there. Oh, there he is. She is. I would have completely overlooked them, but just right at there. Thing is, playing in this level is kind of hard for me because of the cornfields. And so, like, I just had no idea where to look. Just the cornfields were disorienting, and I would just lose people easily here. Yeah, this is where I was starting to freak out. Oop, there she is. Ha. So pick her up. I could fast forward and I'll depending on the video, I'll fast forward and edit as I go, but just for the sake of this, just talking over this whole match. The game audio should come in pretty clearly, even though it's just a recording. It's interesting. What I like about this is that it's very visceral. It really does capture that, like, slasher horror feel, where just, like, the people screaming and just, like, the sound design. My internet is a little wonky, so it, you will notice, like, the weird, like, pause between trying to put somebody on the hook and when they're actually there in the facial animations. There's a relic, or what was it, a totem? I'm not sure. Depending on the killer, those have different effects, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I was just trying to keep an eye on this person to make sure no one came to get her. And I immediately failed. See, through the corn, I could not see the survivor. Trying to play and trying to cut them off. Missed. Oh yeah, and I love this. Oh, my trap worked, and I loved it. I felt so gratified when that person ran right in the center of that. Oh, well, wait, is this where I think it is? Yeah, I didn't realize you can also activate your own traps, so I got very confused there. So it's like, I ran into my trap, lost my captive. So that was very embarrassing. I was so satisfied with my trap working, I completely ignored mine. I completely walked into my own. So yeah, that's that. It's a little twitch there. Yeah, I saw that corn husk twitch, and that was kind of my tip-off. It was a very close call. Yeah, you can see that delay, that weird, like, it's not even there. Yeah, and that, I just had to confirm to myself that's how the traps worked. So... trying to pick that trap up again, and I think I messed up. Oh, right. Place another one in the same spot, same idea. Yeah, I completely lost track of them here. This corn screws me up, man. I was looking around. There's... surprise! Right, and looking at the count at the bottom there, that was the first survivor I ended up attacking, and finally got back up to her. And the more times you hook the same survivor, the faster their sacrifice is. And I figured they'd be dealt with. It's hard to tell if that one even hit, but it did. There was kind of a delay, but my trap still worked, so that was funny. Yeah, my escapee. You can follow blood trails or scratch marks on the ground in order to try and track them down. You just gotta be very attentive, and I'm still learning is the thing. I was hoping they'd be in the locker. I'm still learning. I'm very much a noob, as it were. And I've had some good games, had some bad games, but nothing too detriment. And I thought this would be a fun thing to commentate on. I'm just letting this game play out because of the whole thing. That's when I kind of realized I could pick up my traps and reset them. Same hook, and people keep getting away. And at this point, they only had one generator to go. So it was like time was very much of the essence. And I completely lost them. Just the corn. I can't get past it. Got her as you tried to vault. Not down yet. Had to run around trying to cut around. Yeah, they can drop pallets or stuff in your way. Usually I just go around them if I can manage. Yeah. Okay, yeah, she was down. Oh yeah, and that's the first one again. I think... Yeah, after 3 hooks, she was just immediately gunned down. So after that, moved on. Realized that's the exit gate, and if they activate all the generators, they can activate that. So it was like, 3 people to go, 1 down, so that was a good start, but 3 to go and 3 to go and 1 generator left before they can get the exit. It was very starting to get tense. No one was ever in that locker, as much as I checked. Just running around trying to find... That was kind of just like a knee-jerk reaction. And I lost them again. I was just getting completely looped around in this level. That was an accident, but I got her down. And she disconnected. I forgot about that. Yeah, so that made my job easier. If you disconnect from the game, you just, get no experience. So I never got... I know it can be frustrating when you get downed, but at the same time, you had a chance. And, 2 people still alive to try and revive you in case something happened. Oh, yeah, then this was just perfect timing. They activated the last generator. Exit can be opened. I've got 2 survivors left. chasing one down while the other one's making a break for it. Now, this is my favorite bit. Just wait. I'll just leave it. At this point, I just assumed, like, the guy's gotta be at the exit gate, right? So I just gotta rush over. There he is. It was so lucky. I was really thinking about just letting him crawl out, but I kind of like I felt like I had to make a point at this stage. He's trying to struggle, but this match was mine after that. I've gotten a lot of nasty messages from winning some killer matches while playing this game. A lot of people messaging me on PSN to swear at me. Surprisingly, this was not one of them. This was not one of them, amazingly. I was really expecting some really vulgar message to come through, but yeah. So that was a successful match. I kind of skipped through everything, but just to get all the leveled up, I'm at killer rank 17. Just checked over everyone's stats. Can't remember, did I give everybody a thumbs up on this? I think I did. Just take my time. Yeah. So that was about that. So, yeah, that was just a killer match in Dead by Daylight as part of my first commentary, and I just thought, you know, it was a fun thing to do. Now, I've got a couple more of these. I got, you know, clips as playing as the Wraith, the Nurse, and such, and I want to do more, and Survivors, of course. I suck at being a Survivor, honestly. Anyways, so yeah, this was just my first take at some Dead by Daylight commentary, and there's not really much else to say. This was a really interesting match. It was just visceral, and, you know, it was just interesting to play as, like, this character. This isn't my favorite character you can play as, but the match was really intense. It was very close, and, you know, I just kind of turned it around, mostly by pure luck and by one person quitting. If that person didn't quit, I think somebody would have gotten away. So, yeah. So that's going to wrap up for now. So that was my take on Dead by Daylight's Trapper and just this match anyways. So, yeah, fun little match. It was a good time. So we're going to wrap up there, and that's about it. So, until next time, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe and all that. This is Timmara, signing off.